Do you want to know how to stop water leak in boot Saab? These Saab 93 water leak in boot quite readily. So I'm going to show you 7, yes, count them, 7 common areas of water leak into the boot. I'll give you a rundown of the damage that some of them can cause, some of which is quite expensive, and show you how to cure them. The first one on your list is your shark fin. Under the plastic cover, it's held onto the roof and into the cantrail section by a 22mm nut on the underside, and on the base out here around that there's an O-ring which is fixed to the base. It's quite a common problem for that O-ring to deteriorate and water leaks underneath here into that small gap under there, through the O-ring and then down into the cantrail section. Water that's got inside here then runs along that section to one side or the other, and then runs down the internal section of the C-pillar and gets down into this boot corner. If you've got an amplifier in the boot, like I have here, then that water can get on the amplifier, gets inside, and it wrecks it, and you'll be needing a new amplifier. You've got a very fine nozzle on a tube of silicon sealer, and I would suggest you use black because the shark fin is normally black. I've painted mine. Pull the shark fin over slightly, it'll open up the gap around here, squeeze some silicone in underneath there in several places around, and do the same from the other side. The front is probably the most important area. When you've done that, leave it to set, and then only after it's set, go round very gently with a craft knife and peel off any excess. While we're on the roof, under the cantrail flaps here are the fixings for the roof bars, front and rear. And the fixing hole is rather pitifully sealed by a piece of foam attached to the underside of the hatch. If that foam deteriorates or comes off, then of course it isn't going to seal the hole. Mine shows no impression at all on the foam that would suggest that it's actually contacting. Now this is a much less common leakage point than any others, but any water that does get into the hole will go down the cantrail and the C-pillar section again, possibly ending up on your boot amp. I'm using a piece of Tessa cloth tape just to make it a bit thicker. If you don't use roof bars, you could always put a splodge of silicone sealer on here and just inside the hole there, close that up and leave it. Number 3, here's one that's very definitely an engineering faux pas. I'd expect to get a kicking off my boss if I made this mistake at work. First of all, remove this side panel here. As you can see, I've already actually cut the bottom off mine to improve airflow into the vents. But getting it off is easy. There's a single screw-on cap on a stud just below the light unit, and these clips come out real easy. They're the same ones that hold on the boot lid trim, and press in the middle, just pull it out. On the body and white panel, just above the rear corner of the flap unit, there's a grommet. But the faux pas that exists here is that this is a round grommet in an oval hole. If you look up on the right of the screen now, you should see a nice close-up picture of this. And if you watched my bumper replacement videos, you will see that that area on the in that cavity gets very dirty, which tells you that plenty of water is getting up there from spray off the wheels. Now there are 2 of these. There's this one that you can see here, but forwards of the flap unit behind this area, there's another one just forward of the top front corner. My suggestion is to put a good quality piece of duct tape over the grommet. You could always squeeze a bit of silicone sealer in the little half moon space before you do that, although you wouldn't be able to do that with the front one. You're just going to have to do this with a piece of tape blind and feel your way inside. I've lost count where we're up to now, but when water comes cascading down the rear screen when it's raining, comes off the roof and drops into this channel here, the water then runs to each side and down the channel. Now that's fine when the car's new and if the water runs nice and freely, but if you get any debris in this channel, then the channel has a tendency to fill up with water. But not only that, if I pull this seal off, the seal carrier, where it fits over the flange, the seal came with a little bead of mastic in there, and you can see remnants of it left behind on the flange after I've lifted the seal up. That mastic seals against the top at this top edge and prevents water leaks from this channel round the carrier and stops them dripping into the boot. But over the years it dries out, goes hard and deteriorates and can then allow leaks. To resolve this particular problem, pull the seal off the flange all the way round the periphery of the boot. Now go round the seal with a fine silicone nozzle. I'm using black, but you could use any colour. Press it right into the seal carrier and go all the way around the seal and inject deep into the carrier a good bead all the way around. As you do it, it's a big help if you move the seal round a little bit at a time and lay the seal upside down into this upper channel. You'll find you can get about half a metre or so done at a time, then move the seal round a bit further until you've done the whole of the seal length. If you use this method, you should be able to go around the whole seal in under 10 minutes. Once you've done that, find the position of your seal, probably by finding the top two corners again, and start at the corner to fit the seal back onto the flange. Do across the top first. Hold the seal a little way above and gradually push it down onto the flange as you go along. As you come down the sides, make sure that the flip lifts over the trim. Put the middle into place. There's a join in the two ends of the seal, which should be exactly opposite the striker. Push the final section on. Go around and make sure all the seal is on, that you haven't missed anywhere, and shut the boot. The boot will hold the seal into place, and leave it like that for 24 hours if you can. With number 5, you're getting double your money here, 2 for the price of 1. Because when it comes to water leaks, the rear lights are double trouble. You can see from the dirt pattern on my car here that the top of the lights gets hit by the water flow that comes down from the roof and rear screen in this channel. But of course some of that water heads across the top of the light. Again, you can see full of dirt, and you can see the dirt pattern where it does exactly that. Now the first and most obvious leak source is the seal itself. The seal is only fitted to a plastic edge that's around about 1.5 millimetres thick. It may not be obvious on the camera, but I can see where there's a little bit of water tracking between the seal and the body. Now that's the sort of thing that can go unnoticed for quite some time. But the big problem with a leak up around the top here is that water can come through the seal and drip down onto the bulb holder, and in turn drip down and get onto the connector. Now it just so happens that it is a common problem with these connectors that the earth cable can burn out. You get messages in your car saying tail and brake lights are not working when they appear to be working, and you're getting corrosion and deterioration of the pins and the connectors inside the connector block. Quite a nasty little problem. Probably the best way to fix it would be to cut the cable and get a second-hand connector and splice a new connector in, and or get a new bulb holder. And the second way that these lights can cause a water leak for you, which is not so obvious at first, but is that the glue that holds the glass to the light unit around its periphery deteriorates, and eventually the way that this problem manifests itself to most people is that they come to their car one day and simply find that the light glass is missing because it's fallen off on the road. But in the intervening time, as the glue layer is starting to let go, if it lets go at the top first or down the sides here, then water gets in, and it can get in here, and then the lamp gradually fills up with water, and because the light unit and the light bulbs are not sealed into the light unit, then when it reaches this level here where the indicator bulb goes in, it then spills out of the back and then spills over the seal straight into the corner of the boot and right onto your amp again. It has happened to me previously with this lamp on the other side, and I simply stuck the cover back on with black silicone sealer. The best way, I think, to seal the foam seal on the back of the light to the body is to use some self-adhesive soft foam draft excluder. So start at the bottom, work your way around. Don't stretch the draft excluder too far. A couple of the corners are a bit tight, so be careful with putting it round. Cut an extra couple of millimetres at the end there so that you can get it to butt up nice and solidly. It follows the edge of the foam all the way around. That way the edge of the plastic will bite through and seal this against the panel. I've already done a video about how to get these lights in and out and how to change the bulbs, so I'll link to that in the description of this one. I'll also link to a listing for foam that's suitable for this job that comes on 1 metre rolls. It's quite cheap. The reverse and fog light can suffer the exact same problem with the plastic cover as the main light. Potentially needs gluing back on. The rubber seal is somewhat more robust than the one on the main unit, but the solution is the same again as it is with the main one. If you're getting value from this video, put your comments in the comment section below, and I'll see you next time.